Hello, music lovers. Welcome or welcome back to Ms. Music Channel. Here on YouTube, I am your host, Ms. Music. So I was listening to some music last night, right? And I still listen to CDs. I tend to, although I have a very eclectic taste when it comes to music and books, I still tend to buy or listen, especially when it comes to music. I still tend to listen to whole bodies or works. In other words, I still listen to CDs, or back in the day we called them albums. And growing up, I had this rule I made for myself. In order for me to buy a CD or album, if I bought it, I had to like at least 3 of the songs on the album before I would buy it. So I guess I still do it now. If I buy a CD, I have to like 3 songs before I will even consider buying it. Now, if it's a double CD, that means I have to like at least 6. But I think the only one of those I have right off the top of my head is Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. But anyway, I have noticed there are songs on each of these CDs that I have chosen to review in this video. There are songs on these CDs that I absolutely love, but they were never released for whatever reason as singles. I'm pretty sure you all have some songs, if you go through your music collection, you probably have some songs that you love, but they weren't released as singles. So that's what I want to do in this video. I have about 4 or 5 albums that I have or had. Now they're CDs, because I don't have any vinyl. But I do have about 5 CDs. And I want to go through one by one and tell you the songs that I love that were never, unfortunately, released as singles. So let's take a stroll down music lane and rediscover or revisit songs we love that no one but us and the artists heard. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you see the first one on my list is Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album. That is my favorite album, hands down to this day. Although I love Thriller. I do. I really do. But for whatever reason, at this stage of my life when Off the Wall was out, I don't know. It just resonated with me, or me with it more. That's my favorite album. Now, there are 10 tracks on the album, and 3 of those tracks were released as singles as well as I can remember. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, Rock With You, and then the title track, Off the Wall. Now, come here, let me tell you a little secret. Not that anybody asked me, but if I had to say, of the 3 songs that were released as singles, I don't really care for 2 of them. One of them is not Off the Wall. One of them is Rock With You. And the other one is Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Now, I like them. I can tolerate them. I'm not going to, regurgitate or anything if I hear either one of them play. But the reason I do not care for them is because myself personally, I felt they were overplayed. I mean, they just bombarded us. They shoved them. They just oversaturated those songs. And right to this very day, when I play this album, and I still do, almost as if it's just been released. I tend to bypass, especially Rock With You. If Rock With You is my least favorite on this album, and it is, then Don't Stop Till You Get Enough would be like my least favorite 101. But now, with all of that being said, if I'm in a car or somewhere where I cannot control what's being played, I'll bypass. I'll listen to them. They don't bother me, but when I can control it, the only way you're going to hear me playing one of those songs is if I just can't get to the skip button fast enough. Like I might be cleaning or whatever. Okay, so those are the ones I do not like. But to me, track number 6 on this album was Slept On. Unfortunately, boy, I love this song. Track number 6 is titled Girlfriend. Now, if I'm being honest, tracks 5 through 10, any one of them, which track number 5 is the title track off the wall. But if you had gone with 6 through 10, I just don't believe you would have gone wrong with either one of those. But of those numbers, 6 through 10, Girlfriend just edges all of them out to me. I just hate that one was not released. Okay, so then the next one on the list is Tamia. Now, I've told you all that I have a very diverse music palette. I've always been, I don't even know, even before I knew the word diverse or eclectic, that's how I was when it comes to music and books, especially though in music. So some of you may not be familiar with this lady, Tamia. Tamia, I think, is an underrated artist altogether. Now, her last album, Passion Like Fire, that album, the breakout song on that album is called Leave It Smoking. It's track number 1. I love it, love it, love it. But the one song, I feel like it should have been released, and it was. But the one song on there that I feel was slept on is track number 10. It's called Not For Long. And in this song, she is going through a breakup. She's understanding that things should have been, the relationship should have been over longer than, it should have been over long ago, basically, is what she's saying. And she's giving herself permission to be hurt. It's okay for me to be hurt. But the very next line is what? But not for long. I know sometimes I put you first, but not for long. Now then the third line is, I'm going to remind myself you'll be mad when I bounce back. Now, that's not me. If I've moved on, if I've really truly moved on, whatever I do is not done with the thought or intention of trying to make my ex jealous or regret breaking up. But I guess that must be the case for a lot of people. But yeah, that's what she says. I'll remind you're going to be mad when I bounce back. And then she also says, I know sometimes I put you first, but not for long. I would have been like, but not anymore. But anyway, yes, I love that song. I need to compile me a playlist of just get back anthems. Because she would be up there. Who else would be on there? Tamia would be up there. Mary J. Blige. I guess she would be the queen of But yes, Not For Long, back to Mia. And like I said, it's on her album, Passion Like Fire. And the breakout song off of that album is Leave It Smoking, track 1. Now, here we go. Maroon 5. I believe they came out in like, what was it, maybe 2005? Somewhere along in there. And I guess I know you would consider them a rock or a pop band. Let's see, of all the I know I have 3 of their albums. I have the first 3. The first one is It Won't Be Soon Before Long, and then Songs About Jane. And then the third one was like Hands All Over Me. And after that third album, I started falling off, but I do like a few singles from other albums. I just haven't gotten the album. But I want to talk about their album, the B-side. The B-side is to the album Songs About Jane, the second album they released. And let me see. What songs were on this particular album? Like, Wake Up Call. It had a lot of jams on there because about the album, or CD rather. Wake Up Call. They have a beautiful ballad, the last one. The Songs About Jane. It's called Back at Your Door. I love, 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 love it. But now on the B-side of Songs About Jane, there is this one song that I don't know why it never made songs about Jane, really. It should have been on Songs About Jane. But I was on YouTube one day, and I came across the B-side, and I like a lot of songs, but in all honesty, I can see why they would be on the B-sides until you get to track number 13, Infatuation. Now, the lead singer of Maroon 5 is Adam Levine, and when they were first out and I was seeing them on TV and stuff, I was watching little video clips, interviews. And don't quote me on this, but this much I know. Adam Levine was singing that he tended, listening to music growing up, he tended to be more, he had more of an ear for soulful singers. Like he named Stevie Wonder as one of his favorite artists. He liked a lot of his, and so he named some other people. And but one of the other band members leaned more toward rock, and they have found a way to combine the two. Now, this is where this song hooked me, Infatuation, because the intro, you would just know this was just a banging R&B ballad all the way through. If I were totally blind and heard that song before it heard like the opening of the song, you would never make me believe that rock was anywhere in that room, period. But as the song progresses, we start to hear more of the rockish, the guitar basically. It gets gradually more and more pronounced. And by the end of the song, it's full on. But guess what? That R&B flavor is still the backbone of that song. It's something, if you have never listened to it, please listen to it. And even if you don't like it, you'll have to give your girl credit. I do realize, there is no way of mistaking the R&B and the rock combination in this one particular song. Now, that's what it is on that album. But like I say, I have a lot of their albums, and a lot of them have that same combination. So I'll save those for the next Maroon 5 video I choose. Okay, on to the emancipated queen herself, Miss Mariah Carey. The name of the album is The Emancipation of Mimi. This album had 14 tracks. And there was, the breakout song was It's Like That. And then We Belong Together, beautiful power ballad. And the song Shake It Off. It was released as a single, but it didn't fare too well, but I love it. So, I really don't have a least favorite on this one, but I do have two. I guess this one of these. My favorite, number one off this album, and then my favorite, number 101 off this album. The first favorite is track number 9, called Circles. I just love this song. It just didn't sound like anything else on the album, which is why I liked it. And guys, I don't remember the name of the last song on this album. It's talking about, she's talking to God and asking him to be there with her through some event that was happening, in her life or that night anyway. I just loved it. It was great. Good album. Mimi, even after all of these years later. So now on to the creme de la creme. My favorite artist of all times is the one I saved for the last, and that's none other than Mr. Stevie Wonder. And if he never records another song, he has truly graced this world with so many great hits. And I don't say that lightly. He really does. In fact, he's going to end up in video. He'll end up being the subject in most of the videos I make. And part of it, I admit, is because he's my favorite, but also because the body of work he has put out there, it just stands all these decades later. So, on his album, In Square Circle, there are, let me see, what the songs on that one? Part-Time Lover, he collaborated with Luther Vandross on that one. And then we had the hits Go Home and Land of La La. Land of La La, I don't think it fared well, but overall this album, in my opinion, was superb. And the one, okay, it's two on here. Here we go again with this number 1 and number 1.01 or number 101. My favorite, he has a ballad on this album, guys. And it's track number 3. It's titled Whereabouts. That is such a beautiful song to me. Why it was overslept, I don't know, but I do believe it deserved to have been, it still could be released as a single. It's just that strong. Now the song tells the story of losing someone that at one time was very near and dear to them. And for whatever reason, they are not together anymore. So he's reflecting and looking back on things, and he's like, it doesn't necessarily sound like he was wanting whoever to come back. He was just feeling like, I don't know what in the world is going on, but evidently it must be me because I cannot find my whereabouts anywhere. I just love it. And then track number 5 is titled Never in Your Sun. And this to me could be like the antidote to whereabouts, because we go from in whereabouts looking for like your one and only. You're just in lonely and in despair. Well, then, never in your sign talks about, I guess you would consider it like the light at the end of the tunnel, because someone is sitting around at a park and it's obvious to other people at the park that this person is going through something. And then someone approaches them, or him or her. And then, I'm reading between the lines here. Whoever it was, that person opened up to the other person telling the story. And it was basically the same thing. I'm down and out. I just lost my man or my woman, my husband or my wife, whatever the case was. And, all that goes with loneliness and this, that, and the other. And they're told, or this person is told by, I guess I have to call it Stevie. Maybe like Stevie might have been talking to himself, and this is what he would say if he had come across that situation, which is, never in your song. Yeah, you may be down and out today, but that's only temporary. You don't feel like it when you're going through it, but it really is. So never, ever, ever let anyone take your son away. Never. I just love it. It's a beautiful, beautiful, upbeat song. I feel so good every time I hear that. Well, music lovers, this completes this video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope even if you watched this video and don't care for anything that I said or the songs I chose or the artists, it's okay. Let me know that too. I just want us to engage, and ultimately, I guess what I really truly want with you all in this video is for you all to go and search your music collection to see if there are any songs on any of your music that you feel was overlooked or slept on by the powers that be when it comes to releasing sad music. That is something that I find rather intriguing. It's great. I love dialogue and engagement. So hopefully you all will go through there and see some things, and maybe you'll find that you agreed with something I said. Or if you tell me yours, if I hadn't ever heard of it, I'll go back and listen. I'm pretty sure everything will be all right, okay? Well, now, subscribers, thank you for being subscribed. Welcome, visitors. And everyone, please don't forget to like, share, comment respectfully. And by all means, make sure you have your notification bells not only turned on, but they need to be set to all, so you'll know every time I upload a video. And in the meantime, music lovers, as long as there's something to groove to, there'll always be something to move to. And until we groove and move again, music lovers, remember this. Have a wonderful work week. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. And God bless.